Mr.
Hey man,
Asante.
yeah. I don't know what's going on. My connection was acting up a little funky on me
I don't
before
know,
this whole show
man.
started.
Are you running
But
on
I'm
fake
back.
frames or what's going on, man?
I'm running on them fake frames, man.
Oh
No, no,
man, what's going on with you, man?
no. I apologize. I apologize. For some reason, right when the show started, my entire situation went haywire. It just went
Uh,
upside down.
you running on a
Fantastic.
5070 or a 4090? Which one of the two?
I was running on fumes, I guess is what I was running. I was running on fumes, sir. I was running on fumes. Anyway,
2025, baby. Let's go.
yep. This is how we're gonna do this one in 2025. We're gonna start off with a fart, as it were. No.
With a wet fart.
Anyway, with a wet fart. Yeah. Anyway, no. All right. So before we get this thing started, usually this thing, this game, this gamers playground thing that we do devolves into us talking tech, which I love, as you know, and you do as well.
Yep. We got plenty of that to talk about today.
That's right. And we talk about a lot of handhelds and all that fun stuff. I think we should also start this by talking about some games. I got offered a code for a game, and it just came out, or it's just coming out.
Is it a hindsight game or?
Stop that. And I thought today'd be a good opportunity to just talk about it for just a brief moment.
Let's do it. What you got?
And it's a little unusual. It's not a game that I normally would play.
Really?
It's got some gameplay, some gameplay mechanics that are usually not my bag, but I gave it a shot. And although it's got some indie quirks, I find myself really enjoying it. And I've been exclusively playing this on my handheld, so that's why I want to bring it up on this show. And the game I'm talking about will be on Game Pass in like a couple of days. I'll search and find the actual.
Are you talking about
exact
Avowed?
date.
Whoa. What are you leading us into
I'm
here, sir? What do we got?
I'm talking about a game called Eternal Strands, sir.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer, and MJ Dark told me about this last week.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at here?
The elevator pitch, and for the record, I have not finished this game. I've put many hours into this game at this point, but I have not finished this game. And shout out to them for providing me a code. I really appreciated it. It was really cool, and I've been playing it like religiously on my handheld ever since. The elevator pitch for the game basically is the art style, as you can see, which is kind of Breath of the Wild like.
I can see that. Okay, yeah.
It also has Breath of the Wild elements as far as it's a physics system, meaning things that are hot will burn around the world, things that are cold will freeze everyone, including you, things like that. It's got I hear that some of the developers that made this game have lineage in BioWare, and you can kind of tell based on some of the story elements. It's almost fantasy. The story, that is, which is light. Let's be clear, is almost fantasy version of Mass Effect, which is very thin bare story. Which is, you are the point in this new band, this fantasy band of that find themselves in a new world where they've never been before, and you're now the one that has to basically go and explore for them so that they can grow their village, right?
Okay.
Very, very much shepherd, very much going out there. It's almost Mass Effect 4, the storyline, only in fantasy form. But needless to say,
I have questions.
The reason why I like it, yeah, the reason why, and as you can see, I just threw like a fire flower, and when you threw a fire flower, you can use it as a weapon to to basically
my god,
excise the area.
Yes, that looks like a game show that my daughter made me watch the other day. Something lava. Everything is lava or something like that. Yeah,
the floor is
like
lava. Yes, that's the floor is lava. Right, and look, and now I have frost powers. So if I wanted to go get something from there, I can then use the frost powers to then kind of like counteract the floor a little bit and go get what I need to get. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but beyond just this specific situation, and you're now traversing the world, trying to explore the world, and you're picking up resources, because when you go back to your village or your camp, there's crafting opportunities. You're building up your camp. You're building up your armor, your weapons, all that stuff. You have a bunch of, you're basically a lot of crafting, a lot of discovering and exploring the world.
So it has
right?
a loot element to it, like when you
It has a
kill
loot
enemies
element, exactly.
and when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
and I saw you picking up some stuff
Yeah.
there. Okay, so it does have that loot element. That
Yes,
I really
yes.
enjoy that in games, by the way.
Now here's the last kicker, the last different inspiration, I'd say, that adds to the soup that they've made here, which is Shadow the Colossus.
Really?
The monsters on display here are effing huge, bro.
Okay, and you have to climb their back and stab them and stuff?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And they're also susceptible to elemental damage and things like that, some of them are susceptible to heat, some of them are susceptible to cold, but like, you have a lot of fodder in the world, like you'll have a lot of foxes. There's some like cheap mother effer, like, and when y'all play this game, you'll see it as well. There's some cheap mother effer, like stupid little dragons in this world. They're like these little lizard dragon mother effers.
Spyro? Are you killing Spyro here? Or?
Maybe you'll see them while I'm talking about this. Like, there's these little cheap little, I hate these things, and they're invisible until they spit out their venom at you.
Oh, okay,
there they are. You see them. Look at them. Look at them. I just froze
here.
one. You see,
bro? Why you killing Spyro, bro? What's wrong with you, man?
But you see what happened. I froze one.
Yeah.
If you don't freeze them, and there you go. Look, and there's the other one, also invisible, right?
Okay.
They are basically invisible until they spit their shit at you. And I had to run away because
I see you're channeling your inner Sub-Zero. I'm digging this.
That's right. Yeah, they're basically invisible until they spit their stuff at you. So that means at any given moment, you won't know they're coming to you until they got you, and now you're adapting to it. And by the way, this also has small, tiny elements of things like your souls, like in that you walk around with a flask with 3 drinks in it, things like that, right?
Oh, do the enemies respawn? Like did they put that in here?
I don't know about the respawning. I've actually tried to pay attention to it. I haven't seen the respawn, but you do have, and these little
these are the enemies here
who you have to fight. Yeah. What do you call it? You also have a stamina meter that eventually, if you're not careful, will also deplete while you're in battle.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by the jank. I can see that a little bit in the combat.
It's a little floaty.
Yeah,
it's a little floaty.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and you can climb anything and everything, right? Just like Breath of the Wild, right? But when I initially started playing the game, and I was like, you know what? It's a little floaty. Okay, I see what they're doing there. Yeah, it's a little bit indie. I understand. But once you kind of grok what they're trying to do there, and really try to understand what they're playing with, it's really fun.
It's really fun.
Okay. It opens up. That's right. It opens up. It's one of those games that doesn't hold your hand, right? It'll say, hey, find this thing on this map, right? And then it'll give you the map, and it'll show you the names on the map, but it won't point to anything on that map. You're gonna have to use the names to go look around and find and explore, right? It's actually not bad. Like I initially gave it short shrift because of some of the indie jank, as I'm affectionately calling it. Yeah. But in the long run, I'm finding myself playing more of this than I should be. It's very fun. It's very good. I'm enjoying myself.
So I got a couple of questions. I got a couple of follow-up questions. You mentioned Mass Effect-ish. Is it first of all, do you get to create your character at all, or this is the main character that you are throughout the whole game?
This is the main character you are throughout the whole game, but as I've played through the game, you get more stuff as part of the loot. So you can change the way she looks, you can change the hair, you can change, so you can really exactly like as I keep saying, like Breath of the Wild. You can,
but she's the protagonist.
The Zelda you start with, she's the protagonist. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The Zelda you start with is not the Zelda you end with. You can really change them up, make it really unique and different looking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And when you talk,
and one last piece, last piece I forgot to mention. You also start off with like super magic powers. So like I said, you have ice powers that you can use to freeze enemies and things. You have telekinetic powers that you can use to pick up enemies and things and move them. So like you can pick up a wolf and throw them, right? And then later on you are getting more powers. I think I got this like what's it called again? Implosion power, where anything and everything in the bubble kind of comes together and explodes. You know what I mean? Including enemies. Yeah, you're getting interesting things. But yeah, you get superpower. You get magic powers as well. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay.
What were you asking?
Yeah. Okay, so my next question, as far as the interactions with, I guess the characters in the world, is it kind of like that you get to pick how you respond to them? Is that why you kind of said Mass Effect-ish, where there's like a tree of responses, or how does that work?
It's not. It's a linear storyline as I can tell it, as I can see it. What I mean by Mass Effect is more in the style of storytelling, meaning the delivery method for the gameplay, right? Meaning like you're the hero, you're the key. They're discovering a new land. You're the one who's gonna help fill in the gaps of the map. Things like that. They're very much shepherd in that way.
Gotcha.
And maybe people will help. It'll help people if I explain it in this way. I actually played a lot of Mass Effect 4, the one that people like panned a lot. Like I played a lot of that. Right, I played
Andromeda?
so much of it. Andromeda, yes, Andromeda.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Andromeda. I played a whole lot of Andromeda, and I even like read a book that expounded on the Andromeda storyline. Right, so like I actually really know it very well. And there was a lot of that, right? Like this, you can definitely tell that, hey, the person who worked on this from a story perspective.
Yeah,
and it's not a bad thing.
It has the same tone.
It has the same kind of style. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's not detrimental. It's fun, right? But let's be clear. This is not a cutscene heavy kind of thing. By and large, most of the stories are delivered in like short form little like pictures, where two people are looking at each other, and then you see the words being delivered at the bottom. But it is voice acted, right? They are voice acted, I think I've seen one or two actual cutscenes in the game. But they're all very much like, as I said, it's an indie style.
Yeah,
kind of game.
I can't help but feel that you would be able to answer this because it's so fresh in your mind. Okay. I see the combat, to me, from what I'm seeing, obviously doesn't look as refined as what we got in Dragon Age.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, I'm playing this as I'm playing Dragon Age too.
Right. So, yeah. How are you feeling like jumping from Dragon Age that critically it's pretty much said that the combat was the best part of that game. Yeah. What like I know it's apples to oranges, but like this looks like, from what you're playing, it looks like it's very like you said, I think the right word you used was loose, right? Kind of like
It's very floaty. It's very floaty.
Yeah. You're gonna have more fun, it looks, using those powers than actually hacking and slashing your way through the world. Yes,
and I should also mention this is early game footage, right? So as the late game builds, you're getting better weapons. Your powers are getting tighter.
I can't help but laugh. You threw that lava ball at that animal. You totally missed it. He just looked back and said, "Whatever, man," and he just kept on walking.
No, but you have to understand. It spreads. It spreads.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
So you throw it behind him, and it spreads all over the place, and eventually gets him. Because they usually roll in packs. You see what I'm saying? Hey,
man, look who's here.
Calm down.
Look who's here.
Hey, what's going on, Game Tech Talk? Oh, he's talking about his 5090
man.
talk.
Dude, I'll get into that in a little bit, but I'll put it to you like this. I know you weren't here for that show. He held
you guys
his own,
did a great job, by the way. You guys did a wonderful job. I really enjoyed watching.
He carried the show. It was all him.
It was awesome.
And let me tell you something. Clev held his own, dude. He didn't let Flood and MJ get at him. He was holding his own. Okay, he did good, man.
Okay, see, look, here you go. So in this instance, I hit him with it, and then I waited, because by the way,
yeah, I see it.
By the way, as cute as this all looks and all, this game is not forgiving. Like When you die, they pull you back to camp because they say they have this. There's a story method for reviving you. They pull you back to camp, but all of the
Oh my
all
god.
of the resources you gather, you can only keep 3 of them. And the more resources you gather, obviously, the bigger the more you can get your weapons upgraded and everything upgraded. So there you go. Look, more of these invisible dragons. I hate these things, man. And they always roll in packs. It's the worst thing.
I
It's
got
the
you. I got you.
cheapest stuff, man. It's
But
cheap.
but
Anyway,
they're those are
yeah,
reptiles, kids. You know, like
yeah.
reptile
They're
that
little
that
reptiles.
they're
That's right.
invisible from Mortal Kombat. That's exactly what it is. So
That's
I can
right.
see the
That's
inspiration.
right.
But you know what?
Indeed. Yes.
I'm glad that you're enjoying your time with it. I know that
Yeah.
you were offered the code, to check it out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
and you know what?
So yeah.
You're giving it its due time. You're giving it its fair chance.
Yeah, so I'll just end by saying I appreciate them for providing the code. It's a really cool game. When it comes out on Game Pass, I actually think you should try it. It is
I'll give it a
it's
try.
more than it appears to be. It runs great on my handheld. I'm running an 8840U device. Runs really well on it. Like I've been spending a lot more time on this game than I expected to spend. Believe it or not, I'm still pending Indiana Jones. Like I just finished playing some big games and I wanted to finally start playing Indiana Jones. And then this fell into my lap and now I can't stop playing this. So
Yeah.
needless to say, shout out to the folks over at Eternal Strands for providing the
Eternal
code.
Strands. Game
Eternal
Tech Talk.
Strands. Yep. It will be out in a few days. It'll be out on Game Pass as well. And I actually recommend it. I think I'll keep putting some time into this thing and see what the late game provides. Because I haven't shown you the footage here, but the Shadow of the Colossus parts are pretty freaking awesome. Like the
Yeah.
huge monsters that you end up having to fight and take down.
I'm
and
digging
all
the art
that.
style. You are right. It does
Yeah,
remind me
it's
of
fun.
that Breath in the Wild kind of look. So digging the artwork,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
So
So all right,
yeah,
man, the show is yours.
all right, man. So just want to welcome everyone that's joining us tonight. The usual suspects, K Asante, are here. Kay, I know you were gone. You were on a work trip last time we had a show, and we were joined by Game Tech Talk. He talked to us all about his CES experience, dude. I wish you were here. You missed a funny show. I know you were listening, but I'm sure you had
Sir,
many questions to ask
I was
Game
in
Tech
my
Talk.
hotel room laughing my butt off at the two of you guys. It was awesome. It was a real
Hey
good show.
man,
You guys did a
we
great
did
job.
we tried, man. We tried to hold it down without you here, man, and it wasn't the same without you. I'll tell you that much. But we still held it down. Okay, this is episode 59, brother. Okay, and we're calling this frames. Okay, because it's all about the fake frames future that we're living in. We're gonna talk about a couple of things today, Kay. I'm gonna pick your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's our first show officially together of 2025. And I've heard you throughout the last couple of weeks on a few shows on your own.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend,
Mm-hmm.
you had the great Fox on.
Mm-hmm.
You guys talked many handheld. You guys talked Xbox handheld, a little bit of Switch 2, et cetera, et cetera. I thought that was a great show. I have to finish listening to it because I listened up to probably with like maybe 20 minutes left that I have to finish listening to. But the Fox is the Fox, dude. And you also had Lucius
He's the
Augustus.
man.
He did a great job. And I got my
Mm-hmm.
tag team partner in here, Sycamore. You know what I'm talking about, Kay. Those Discord,
Uh-huh.
discussions. He is my tag team partner, which we are the tag team champs in there because we body slam everybody. And then, yeah, right. And then what's this called,
Uh-huh.
Kay? Let's get right into it, Kay. The first thing I want to pick your brain about, man, because we haven't had a chance to talk officially since you've been away. I want to get your thoughts on the Switch 2, brother. I want to get your thoughts on the reveal, some of the things that we've talked to in the past, some of the things that we kind of guessed that this may be, that this may not be. Now that the dust has settled with a reveal, there's still some mystery left. And as you can see, this is the official Nintendo site, Kay Asante. You see
Yeah,
the back of this
absolutely.
device?
Yeah.
There's to me, there's nothing else special back here, but there are people that are kind of making guesses out there. We can get into that too if you want. But where I want to start with you, let's start from the basics. What'd you think of the little teaser trailer? Did you think it was did you think that it was okay, finally they're revealing this thing? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was lackluster? Did you think it was exactly what they needed to do? What was your thoughts around the reveal of it? That's one I want to pick your brain at first.
Well, first and foremost, I must protest, and I think everyone agrees with me. And if you don't agree with me, you are wrong. That they should have called it the Super Nintendo Switch.
Oh man, come on, bro. You know they can't
That's
do
what they should have
that.
called it.
You know why
They
they
should
can't
have
do
called
it.
it.
I know,
That's what they should
but
have
you know
called
they
it.
can't do that because they were gonna get in a Wii U situation.
I know, but they were cowards. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But that's neither here nor
they are
there.
cowards. They are cowards. But you know what? It's all about the money. I feel the same about Xbox. They're cowards, but it's all about the money. Go ahead.
It's all about the moolah. Yes, I
It's
get
all
that.
about the money.
That that's neither here nor there. But as far as their announcement, I mean, what I think honestly, I also think the meta conversation about this whole thing is kind of funny because it seems
Well, we're
based
gonna
on
get
what they
sued,
showed
sir.
us.
We're gonna get
What do you
sued. You
mean?
can't use kind of funny. Don't come on, sir.
Oh, stop the ridiculousness, man. Stop the ridiculousness. It seems that they just kind of put it out there just to shut people up because the rumor and speculation was getting too wild.
Yeah.
So it seems, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
because of that, we didn't even get any real meat on the bones of this reveal. It's kind of
No
like, here
info.
you go.
No
Shut up
info. Zero.
until April, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like enough of the mouth breathers like leading the narrative. Here's what we're telling you. Here's what it looks like. Now go shut up until we're ready to talk about it.
Exactly. Exactly. We're gonna
It
show
looked
you
like
what it looks like.
That's
Not,
right. It
not
looks like
Twitter.
they exactly.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
like
yeah,
they were kind of forced to put the cart before the horse a little bit for it, right? So it seems, right? So that's an interesting development. I never thought that I would see Nintendo get pushed to kind of do that.
Yeah, they kind of did because man, if you think about it, you make a great point,
Yeah.
Kay. All their laundry got exposed, dude. All their
Oh, bro.
dirty little secrets. I mean, this thing,
Absolutely.
the leakers
Is
were
the
literally
most
walking
leaked thing.
around.
Yeah.
The leakers were literally well, not that they weren't leakers, but there was vendors and Game Tech Talk told me that had Switch cases already with like mock-ups in this thing. Like CES was full blown. Hey, get hands on the Switch 2. Yeah, it's made out of plastic with the little with the fake
Yeah.
printer, 3D printed. But it's like people were
But
getting
they
their
already
hands
got
on.
got the body and everything
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
to
to
go.
at least feel the
Yeah.
ergonomics or whatever.
Yeah. So it was time that Nintendo came out and told their own tale, right? And I
Yeah.
appreciate that they did that. And I like the cool little splashy thing they did. The body that you're showing off right now, I think is cool. Like I actually like it. I'm excited to get my hands on it. Those that know me know that my favorite colors are black and red, so I like that little combination they got going on right there. That's cool.
Right.
I dig that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing here. As you said, I had an opportunity to chat with the Fox on the show over the weekend, and I think I will echo what he says, which is because this is in a very bespoke kind of way, and because this is Nintendo doing what Nintendo does, we can expect that they either will come close to our standards, or in certain cases they may blow people away with something that they build with something like this. You know, when you add DLSS 2.0, because make no mistake, it's built on the 2.0 framework.
Right.
So, you know, so I say that to warn you, make the pending incoming previews where folks will start using old DLSS cards to tell you what they think the Switch 2 will look like is incoming, because we do have those cards. They do exist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will do that.
Do you see my mouse? Do you see my mouse pointer right here?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do see your mouse pointer.
Okay, you see how the share button, the classic share button, is down here with the little circle thing. What I have heard on other podcasts is that they're guessing that they're not showing you exactly what this is just yet, because you see how it's like you see how there's nothing here. So
Yes.
you want to talk about what that's rumored to be
Sure,
that we keep
sure,
on hearing?
sure. Yeah. So I've heard rumors in a few places, and I'll keep where I've heard most rumors quiet because I don't want to put people on blast. But
Yeah, of course.
basically, what I've heard is that, and this is wild speculation. So please don't put me on Front Street if it doesn't purport to be real. But there he goes, there it is. What's
Nick
going on,
says it's a
Special Nick?
community button, man.
Now, Special Nick says it's the community button, because there have been images that show a C on it, right?
Mm.
So technically, what it's supposed to do, right? Which I'm not sure if it does this or not, but what I've heard that people are speculating that it might do is, it is the best way I can describe it is it's the vision of the Wii U realized. Which I know it sounds weird, but it's the vision of the Wii U realized. It's the vision of the 3DS or the 3D, the Nintendo 3DS realized, right?
Yeah, you got to
Which is,
elaborate because even I asked you a little while ago, what do you mean by that?
yeah, which is, and I had to get my mind around what the people were describing when they said this. You
Right.
press the button, and it would then it would send the signal of what the video that you're playing, the game you're playing, from the Switch to the dock to the screen. So
Okay.
right
Or it
now,
beams
today,
it beams it like a
it
screen mirror.
beams it.
Yeah.
That's right. But today, you put the dock in. You put it in the dock, right? You plunk it in the dock. It then mirrors whatever's on the dock, whatever's on the screen onto your television screen, right? And that's it. The minute you pick it up, it removes that connection. This would still keep that connection even if the Switch is not in the dock, right? But if the Switch is within proximity, you press the button, it sends an image. Now you said mirror. I don't necessarily think it's a mirror. It would be an image to the screen via the dock, right? That's where you could get your Breath of the Wild, where you're using the Switch as your controller, right? What's on the 4K screen is Link. What's on the Switch screen is the map.
Okay. So the Wii U
see what I'm saying?
redefined. So the Wii U kind
Kind
idea
of.
redefined in their own unique way for certain
Yeah.
games. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
now let me be absolutely clear. This is not my idea. So if this thing comes to fruition, you heard it here, but you didn't hear it from me. This is me just regurgitating some ideas that I've heard others are saying. But if that is true, that is very cool. And I am one of those rare Wii U fans. I actually have my Wii U still. I have my 3DS, my new 3DS. I've always enjoyed the interesting paradigms that Nintendo likes to bring into gaming. And if that is their secret sauce, because we've all been speculating, what is the secret sauce? Nintendo always likes secret sauce that nobody else is thinking about. If that is how they do it, could you imagine? Right? Like, it is a normal device that anybody would use in like as a normal device. It's got your normal interface buttons and everything else.
It would
But their
once
games would differentiate them.
Yes,
Like, it would
that's what I was going to
make
tell
them
you.
unique, right?
That's
And
exactly what I was
really
going to
cool.
tell you. And like,
Yeah.
for example, right? Because think about this. Let's think about this for a second.
This is why he is my man. Special Nick. His Wii U is still set up. Mine is displayed, and I dust it every weekend to make it nice and clean.
Yeah, the
Anyway.
Wii U was a fun device. I enjoyed it. All 20 of us. Kate, let me tell you something. I think that the reason that makes a lot of sense for them to do that is not only because it's like a unique gimmicky idea that Nintendo loves that stuff, and kind of to differentiate it from the first Switch, but also if you think about it, there's been a lot of handhelds that have come out. I'm sorry, not a lot, but a few that they've gotten our attention. I know that Neo did one with the Flip DS screen that it had a screen on the top and a screen on the bottom. And what's cool about that is that you don't even think about these things, but a lot of people like the multitasking ability of devices. Think about this. Think about it as you can use it not only for games, but like simple things like, for example, pull up a YouTube video to help you out while you're playing the game. and then you can actually use your own device, your own Switch device, to keep on watching that video, and then
Mr.
you don't lose
Wolf,
anything by playing, on the screen. You see what I'm saying? What's that?
please, please, please do not give me too much hope, because this is Nintendo we're talking about. You never know
But
with these wonderful
but
human
I
beings.
I know,
Don't
but
give me too much hope here.
no, no, no. I'm not gonna give you too much hope. I'm just gonna try to sell why it would be cool. And right now, this is
Oh,
just a
absolutely.
sprinkle of
Yeah.
salt. There's nothing here. It probably is gonna do the same thing as the Switch one, but it would be
Yep.
cool because if you think about it, Nintendo, it would be nice, I think, if they think outside the box to resell you most of these games that you're probably gonna buy if you buy this thing. You want to play
I
Elden
mean,
Ring again? What better way to play Elden Ring again than to have that second screen experience? I think that is a unique way to play that game, a new way to experience that game, and I think that they should, if that is a feature, that might be a way to sell the same game to the same buyer potentially. It's a differentiator. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Kate?
no, I was just gonna say I'm already in it for at least two of them. One for my kids, one for me. Day one. Are you not already in for a couple?
I'm in for one at least. For one for sure.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
So even if
So
it has it or
yeah,
not, regardless, it's still gonna be cool. If it is the community button, like Special Nick says, I understand that too, because I think that Nintendo recognizes that they need to step their online game up. I mean, so I think that either one, I would prefer the kind of the thing that you talked about. That would be cool, but I can see it going both ways, to be honest with you.
yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I look forward to April when they unveil the whole situation. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So we talked about kind of the review. We talked about maybe the little secret features that it may have, may not have. We don't know. It will be cool if it does. Let me ask you this. We love talking handhelds. We have a pair of handhelds of our own that we love playing on. Okay, what does the Switch 2 do to the gaming landscape and the gaming market for handhelds? What do you think it does? Does it make it harder for others like Xbox, like PlayStation, like Asus, etc.? Does this make it harder for them to try to do anything in this space, or are we going to see a flip where now, since Nintendo doesn't have that space all to themselves, now they are going to really have to step up their game? Where do you see this going?
Honestly, I actually, depending on how well positioned the performance is, and we're still waiting to see how well positioned the performance is. Depending on how well positioned it is, it really could become an interesting companion piece in the gaming landscape, right? Like it really could, right? As I see Special Nick in the chat is correctly pointing out, and the Fox pointed the same thing out over the weekend. It's so interesting. Microsoft decides to pivot their hardware vision to handhelds right when these guys are dropping the potentially like a new monster benchmark in the game, right?
This is a nuke.
So we shall see what. Yeah, we shall.
They're dropping here.
We'll definitely see how this thing, where it falls from a performance perspective, right? Make no mistake, though, Nintendo does not like to take any losses at all, right? They're not even going to come close to modern times, right? This is still technically old hardware.
Sure,
it's just closer than they've ever been before. And the MacGuffin here, the thing that is interesting that we're not sure what we'll bring with it is it's old hardware, but also coupled with potential AI capabilities. So we'll see how much that will assist it in pushing it further than it has any right to go, right?
Sure.
And that's where the Fox was pretty excited about, as am I. But I think it's awesome, man. The idea that this could be another secondary endpoint for a real third party library build, right? Makes everyone who's in this game stand up and pay attention, right? Microsoft's trying to get into handheld. There's rumors that Sony's getting into handhelds themselves. Obviously, Steam is very much eager in that space. Obviously, Asus and the rest of them are also eager in that space,
Salute,
right?
sir.
Salute to the man, Infinite Umbra. They're all in that space, and they're all vying for your attention and your time. When Switch 2 gives you a potentially capable hardware stack, now they become top of the heap, right? It's super interesting. I was talking to as we were talking to the Fox, he was really putting it into perspective. Like, people give Valve's Steam Deck so much credit because it does so much with such small or such low TDPs, right? It's able to do just so much with such little TDPs. But if you scale what Switch does to Steam Deck, it beats the Steam Deck.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
From a watt use perspective, from optimization of how many watts it uses to play game perspective, it does even more than what the Steam Deck does. It does so much with very minuscule TDPs or total wattage perspective. So even though this one won't be considerably more powerful than its predecessor, it will be far more powerful. We don't know how much more powerful, but they are so capable of doing so much with so little that it makes everyone stand up and pay attention to this thing. So I, for one, am genuinely excited. I will definitely be getting one. It will definitely join the library, and we shall see. We'll see. Yeah.
Definitely saw the little connectors on the side. I saw a couple of people worried that if your kids might break it, which, I mean, that's the plan, right? For them to, so that you break it and you buy like another one.
Another one,
right? I mean that's all. That's all according to the plan.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so it's okay. The only hint of software that we saw, and I'm gonna pivot a little bit on you here. The only hint of software that we saw was Mario Kart running for whatever Mario Kart that was. If you pay attention to, somebody pointed out, and I agree with them, it looked like it was a new version of Mario Kart or some type of update, because the Donkey Kong model had changed for the movie one, as well as the Princess Peach, like her face. It looks like she had a little bit of too many Krispy Kreme donuts, if you know what I'm saying. She got a little rounder, like the movie. Okay, it looks like she had it looks like she gained some weight over the holidays. Okay, that's at least what people were saying. So, okay, here we go. Virtual tomato time for me. Maybe you'll join me. I don't know. Maybe you'll dodge them. I don't know. You know me. You know I don't mind getting hit by these tomatoes. Can't help but think, Kay, for the 2 seconds that we saw, I was like, this looks like a Switch game. I mean, people were trying to tell me, oh, but did you see did you see the flames coming out of the back of the car? Oh, but did you see the ray tracing on the tires? I heard all of these things, and I'm like, guys, it looks like a Switch game to me. Okay, remember what I said a while ago. Are we looking at a Switch 1.5 here? And people have pointed out and pushed back against me, and sometimes you've had my back, and they push back against you too, saying, no, this is a next generation console. This is a next generation handheld Switch 2. Stop saying that. It is not a Switch 1.5. Okay, do you think I'm going to end up being right here or what?
So my first question to the people who question you is, how do you define generation? Is it their generational next generation of hardware? Absolutely it is. But is it considered a generational leap in hardware software performance? They don't aim for that. So even if it's got more in the tank, you'll never see it on the Switch, on a Nintendo game. Like you'll never see it in a first party Nintendo game, right? If this device can like pump out like hardcore, awesome, realistic, if like some third party vendor or some third party developer can make a version of like Breath of the Wild that looks like super realistic, and this device can render it super well, right? You won't see that from Nintendo. That's not their aim. So, you saying it's a Switch game, yeah, of course, because that's what they're trying to make, right? It's no indication that because it's got more in the tank that now all of a sudden the tires will look real. It'll still be just as cartoony as it always was, because that's how they want it to look, right? Exactly. Now there is a rumor. There is a thought to the idea that they built that art style with limitations in mind when they didn't have them any limitations, right?
Hey, he gave you some love too, man. Hey, listen, KC, right now I'm making a lot of people mad, but it is what it is. I gotta speak my truth, man.
No. Look. I don't get me wrong. You're speaking your truth, and you're not wrong, right? But what I'm saying is temper your expectations when it comes to Nintendo themselves, right? Talk to your man MJ Dark. He'll tell you, right? I think if Nintendo had like Series X level hardware, you'd still see the same goofy art
you
style.
You saw this, right? The little
cartoony.
mouse.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Here. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Looks like there might be some mouse applications there. We shall see. They're always about them gimmicks, right? So
yeah.
No,
exactly.
but honestly, look, I'm just telling you to temper your expectations when it comes to like what you expect to see from next gen hardcore graphic fidelity. That may not be what you see from Nintendo games. What you're gonna get there is far more stable frame rates, right? As the Fox was saying on the show over the weekend, what you'll see most likely is far more stability in gameplay, because unlike the Xbox One X and the PS4 that had the terrible Jaguar cores, right? This has like really, really decent CPU already, and the GPU is also purporting to be pretty decent. And then of course it's adding AI. So I'm bullish on this thing, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what it can be done. I think the interesting space will be in the third party space.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
What will third parties be able to do with it? What will those features look like? It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, we got a $5 super chat. I'll let you read it off, and then I got another thing to say about this thing. Oh, go ahead. Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. The great BT Maverick 707 for the $5 super chat. He says, how do you guys think that Switch 2 LCD is going to be? Closer to the Steam Deck original LCD or the ROG Lenovo quality LCD panel? Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Sir,
great question.
That's an awesome question, man. That's an awesome question. And Mr. Wolf, you were showing off some of the footage. Would you go back to where they had a side by side of the back in the day, the original?
Yeah, sure.
The original Switch
on the video or on the video.
I think it might be on the website. Yeah, it might be just the website where they were side by side.
Let's take a look here.
Because they're right here,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
It was very notable the bezels, right? They are definitely going back to LCD. Am I wrong in that?
I don't think you're wrong at all. It
looks like they're going back to LCD.
Even the quality of the image of the game looks the same.
Yeah. It looks like they're going back to LCD so that their mid-gen refresh, of course, that eventually becomes another OLED version.
Correct.
Right. So there's that. But I would not put it past them to have a very decent quality panel. Right. This is their next gen. This is how they really like try to get you in. And as you're saying, BT Maverick, there are quality panels out there that are LCDs right now. Notably, the ROG Ally panel is pretty damn decent for an LCD panel. Even the Lenovo Legion Go panel is very, very good.
It's sharp, dude. It is sharp, very good. Sharp.
And it's an LCD panel, right? So let's not sleep on the LCDs. So yeah, I do think when Nintendo builds these things, they build them to last, right? I still have my OG Switch, and it's great ever since. Ever since I bought it way back when. I like the black and the accents on it and stuff.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think it's
cool.
great, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks cool.
I think it
I
looks
like the
cool. I'm looking
little
forward to it.
I like the little touch of the blue and the red on the inside, and and it's the inside of the controller. I thought that was pretty unique that they did that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of color variations and stuff. You know how
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo is. So I
Yep.
I, I think so. And to answer BT, I do think that it is gonna be an LCD screen as well for the reasons
Yeah.
that Kay said. Let me tell you though, after I play on my Switch at least once a week on my modded Switch OLED, it is very nice and very
Mm,
noticeable when I go to other devices that don't have the OLED.
mm-hmm.
It's a difference maker, man. So it is going to be kind of a step back, but if they can at least kind of match that quality of the Legion Go, I think that people will be fine with that. I think that people will be very happy with that. So, okay, we know that it brings backwards compatibility, all that stuff. April, we gotta wait till April for more news on this thing. See if that rumor comes true that you've been hearing about the about projecting to the screen and all that stuff. That will be cool. Again, if it doesn't happen, don't come after K. He's not saying it's gonna happen. He was just said that it would be cool. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
So
someone said that to me, and I was like, hey, man, that's a very cool
yeah, they
idea.
they
I hope it
planted that
happens.
seed, and now when it doesn't happen, MJ Dark is gonna send you hate mail. Why, K Asante? Why did you do this to me? All right, K. So with that said, I did want to talk to you about one more thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This evening. Um, and that's the future that we're kind of heading towards. Okay, we haven't had a chance to talk about CES, but CES was all about the frames, the fake frames. Okay, that's what we heard coming out of
We're gonna talk
here.
about the fake frames.
We're going to talk about the fake frames because I am going to be making a purchase soon. I am going to be
Uh huh.
upgrading one of my graphics cards soon.
Uh
And
huh.
on a daily basis, I am
You going to
trolling you.
the 50
I
fake
am
frames?
I am trolling you. I am trolling MJ Dark because you guys have 4090s.
You're
I'm
trying to
trying.
troll us,
I'm
it doesn't
trying.
work.
Right, right. I mean, it does inside my head, but I'm trying.
It doesn't work because we just kind of pretend you did nothing and keep it moving.
There he is,
You
slow
know.
mo, right on schedule. Fake frame for John's fake desire for a new GPU, sir. I need to smell the GPU as it exits the box. I'm gonna be sniffing it like a fine cigar. Uh, it's
No,
not
no, 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 no,
it's
no,
not
no, no,
trolling
no,
when
no.
you're really going through.
You will not be sniffing it like a fine cigar. We
All
know
right.
what you like to do with your tech.
Oh god, I'm gonna scratch.
People in the
I'm gonna scratch
Discord
certain
knows.
areas.
People in the Discord knows what we're talking about here. We're
I
gonna
gotta
keep it
break it in.
moving. It's
I
fine.
gotta break it in. All right. So okay, I want to talk about the fake frames future that we're heading towards. And what do I mean by that? Look, I've heard the day after CES, after the announcement of the 50 series of cards from Nvidia, and also sort of an announcement from AMD. Like sort of quotation marks. Where's Flood? I need him to come out here and defend his company. But
Mhm.
they kind of hinted that they would have a proper reveal later on for their next generation of cards with FSR4.
Yeah.
We've seen PlayStation K. They released a PS5 Pro, which I bought, and I have slow mo around 50 hours of use time. Okay,
Oh
since you like
wow.
to keep tabs on that, I've gone up since I told them a few hours, probably like a few
Uh-huh.
months ago. So PS5 Pro K is also going into the fake frames arena. Nintendo is going to have upscale technology with their device. We know Xbox what they're doing. We hope that they're working with some type of upscale technology, which I think that they are. And then Nvidia is all in on AIK. So what I want to talk to you is about the 50 series and about this future that we're heading towards. I don't know if this is the future for now or the future for a long time, right? But one of the things that I'm seeing going around is this concern, all right, by gamers. The concern is that companies are relying more on software instead of giving you proper power in your devices to make up for lack of whatever, right? So I'm starting to think that the reason that I question things always is because for Nvidia, right? To be in to I think that anybody that owns Nvidia or knows about Nvidia would champion their software suites solutions. It's not perfect, but it's probably the best in the game, right? So when they want to leverage their software, um, I see a lot of pushback towards that, and I understand it to a certain extent, and I understand that there's always snake oil with all these things, but I just question why the skepticism with them delivering sort of on their promises. It's not that it's going to be 100%, but is it 85%? Is it 90%? I don't know that. So with that said, as you know, I'm going to be selling off my 4070 to one of our Discord members, and I'm going to be picking up a 5070 hopefully, because I'm interested in trying out the tech, the next generation of multi-frame gen, and also because I want to bother MJ every day with this. Uh, that's really the truth. So I'm willing to spend a few $100 to do that. So, Kay, with that said, it is my first question to you. Is this the future? For how long do you surmise here? Is upscaling and fake frames the future, and we need to start getting used to it because it's here to stay? And just like Xbox pivoted and changed their business, is the GPU market also have to understand where we're at, and they also have to understand the pivot? Like, where are you at with this?
So honestly, I think that this is a necessary evil, right? I just think that unfortunately, because that we all know it, and certain folks in the gaming and graphics card environment also know that that's a necessary evil, that they're making use of that, and they're polluting and pivot and corrupting that even more than it needs to be corrupted, right? That's the feeling I get from it, and that's the reason why people push back as much as they do, right? Because look, let's be honest, if you want to get there, even to this very day, there is no such real thing as a 4K card, right? The Fox was talking about it. The 4090 feels like the first 4K card, right? But even in that instance, you have to have DLSS on before it feels like a real 4K card.
Right.
You really do. The minute you don't, it gets screwed up, right? And there are many games that push the envelope a little too much to the point where you can't hit 60 frames per second with 4K on, right? I think the reason why you're seeing as much issue from the community about it is they feel like, and Nvidia is definitely guilty of this. There's so much leveraging on that, like leaning on that software, to the point where they are not giving the proper attention to rasterization performance that they should be doing in order to move the ball forward, right? So much so that they're way from behind second place competitor is beating them in rasterization performances in many benchmark workloads, right? So and obviously people see that Nvidia is doing that on purpose because they have something that differentiates them in the market, so they're trying to use that to their advantage. But they're kind of overdoing it because it's their way of differentiating themselves in this market, right? At the end of the day, they should be moving at least the ball forward so that everyone benefits, even the lowest cards. And right now, they're very much more business focused than they are anything else, and it's causing pitchforks, as it were.
Understood. So I just feel okay, like if the conversation over the last few weeks is people kind of being upset, not upset, I'm not going to say upset, but kind of disappointed that some people feel like if they are like not getting their money's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you're paying for technology instead of hardware. And
so this is why it feels this way. Okay, real quick, this is why it feels this way.
Sure. Explain it to me for me to understand that.
Yeah. So you're an Android user, right? Back in the day, and even to this day, I walk around both an Android phone and an iPhone. Why? Because for work, I must have an iPhone. And my personal life, I like Android phones. So I have my own personal phone and I have my iPhone for work, right? Some years ago, I walked into an Apple store looking for something or other. And then I proceeded with my wife there. I proceeded to do this weird test that was very informative, and it was very funny. I'm not sure if you recall, but when Pixel, Android has Pixel phones, right? When they
Yes.
come out with their phones, they have exclusive apps, right? They have they have the Pixel camera app that has like secret sauce that's added to that app, and it makes the phone's camera just take way better pictures, right?
Right.
What you'll know is from year to year in the generations of their camera in their phones, they don't change their cameras. It's just the software they use that makes the camera even better year over year, right? So if you're able to download their software, that camera app, onto your Android phone, now all of a sudden you have the same features as that one because they all have the same software. You get it?
Okay.
So I walk into an Android phone, I walk into an Apple store with a modded phone. At the time, this was some years ago, and I take a picture, and everybody's flabbergasted at the fact that my phone takes like insanely awesome pictures, better than the latest and greatest iPhone that was coming out. Right.
Right.
That is part and parcel the basis of why people get upset. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because hardware is something that can never be changed, and we live in a world where software and firmware updates allow software and allow a product stack to grow, right? So if it looks like you're holding features behind a firmware or a software update that you could have given to the world or to that existing consumer base, they hold you very much accountable. Because in the world we live today, cars get updates via phone, via software update. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
More and more people are getting used to the idea that, hey, if it's a software update that works on existing hardware, then just give me that software update, rather than make me buy new hardware in order to make benefit of that software update. Right?
Okay.
We live in a world where consumers expect their software or their hardware to mature over time based on updates that come over time, vulnerability updates and feature updates, things like that, right? And because of that, when you clearly see that this software update that has come out could have come to, say, your 40 series cards, but they keep it locked behind a 50 series, that's why people grab them pitchforks. That's why, because they all see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I kind of understand that to a certain extent. The only thing is that, like, where I get kind of confused in the conversation is like the marketing, right? Like Jensen comes out with the ray tracing jacket. Yeah, you gotta admit that ray tracing jacket was funny, dude. He was running, that jacket was running on a 5090. He had it like powered to it, strapped to his back. So he comes out there with a 5070 in his hand, and this guy is literally marketing 4090 performance on a 5070. Now, okay, yeah. I know that there's snake oil. Of course I know that. Of course I understand that there's caveats to it. Of course I understand that what they probably mean is that results will be under certain strict guidelines, like, for example, X example of game running with all the bells and whistles versus this, whatever the case may be, right? However it is that they came up with that. But here's the thing. As Nvidia users, we know, okay, that their software it's the goods most of the time. So is it wrong to get excited at the possibility of that?
No. And to be clear, no one should ever no one should ever yuck your yum.
Hey, game tech talk. What are you doing, man? Last week you were all over the Jensen glizzy, man. What are you doing to me, man?
But let me say this as diplomatic as I can, okay?
Sure.
On the PC side of the house, we tend to not listen too long to
the BS.
No, not the BS, but to the marketing. Right? Because look, on the console side of the house, they promise you a whole bunch of goods. Hey, you'll get this, you'll get that, you'll get this, you'll get that. All with the promise that you buy it and for the next 7 years you're done.
Greenberg.
Right? All with the promise that for the next X amount of years you're absolutely done, right? Then, but the difference is on the PC side of the house, even if you buy this component, even if you buy this PC or whatever, you are still responsible for knowing how to make that hardware work. You're still responsible for getting the best out of your hardware. There is a DIY component to PC gaming that just inherently is not there in consoles. And because of that, there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with it.
And due diligence.
Right. Exactly. There's a certain amount of due diligence that's required, a certain amount of responsibility that's required. There's a certain amount of manual reading that is expected to make this thing work for you the way you want it to work for you. Right. It's not the same thing as, oh, well, Cerny said this SSD is amazing, so I'm just going to take it. Right?
What do you mean? It doesn't have magic dust on?
Right.
Dude.
Exactly. And Aaron Greenberg said all of them were running at 60 frames, so I'm just gonna take it.
Right? Dude.
It like we play in different waters on PC, right? So, but that's not to say that the marketers on PC use any different tactics. They are just as ridiculous as anybody else doing their marketing. They will come out and they'll say what they need to say.
How do you think Jensen was lying? The man had literally a Captain America shield made out of graphics cards.
Well, but
come on, you think he was lying?
So let's be clear. Let's be clear. Okay. So he had this thing where he said you'd get 4090 performance from a 5070 card.
That's
right?
the claim.
That's the claim, right?
At 549.
And then we saw like the what do you call it? The benchmarks that they put out, right? I think it's on their website.
Yeah. Let me do it again. Hold on.
I think it's on their website, and you can scroll through and you can see it because the fine print of that website. Yeah, there's a fine print down there that does a lot of heavy lifting.
You got to read this in the Micro Machines voice. Remember Micro Machines back in the day?
Absolutely.
You gotta read it like the dude when he used to read like that.
Exactly. But funny enough, while he's reading it in that quick voice, that's the stuff that needs to be read slowly and carefully because that tells you that a lot of that stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the caveats.
So you see all of these lines here, right?
Yeah,
I'll tell you, and it's tiny
lines that look more than the previous generation.
That's right, and it's tiny, so you can't really see much. But I'll tell you that the first line is RT, right? The green line obviously is the 5070 cards, right?
Right.
And the gray line is actually a 4070 card, not a 4090.
Correct.
If you're looking at the thing on the side, it's a 4070, not a 4090, right? Yep. But here's the fun part about it. If you look at it, it says RT. If you do that, that tells you that 1X is the on the gray. That's the level of performance you're getting currently with the 4070, right? The little green part is how much more you'll get with a 5070, right? So that's a little more. I'd say what is that? 5%, 6% more. So it's about 5-6%.
Yeah,
if that more ray tracing performance, right? Now look at the DLSS, right? DLSS, that's the second one from the left, right?
Right.
DLSS also, what is it? 5-6% more performant, right? Right. Looking at that thing, and then it says DLSS 4.
That's right.
And then you see the huge spike.
Yeah.
And then DLSS 4 plus ray tracing.
And then after
right. Exactly.
All the bells and whistles are on.
What the fine print tells you at the very bottom is that the reason why this thing is so much bigger in one instance than the other is that after you go from DLSS to DLSS 4, currently in its current form, 4070s don't have DLSS 4.
That's correct.
So what you're doing is you're comparing DLSS 4 to DLSS 3. Not a like for like comparison at all, right? But give them a year. DLSS 4 will most likely come to the older cards. When it does, then you'll see the like for like performance. But here's the kicker. In the instance where they are like for like, which is the number one and the number two, which is RT and DLSS, look at the discrepancy in performance. It's about 5%. You get it? This is why people are mad, because the real workout strength differentiators, right, are in those first two stats. There was no special sauce, no AI. Well, there is AI, but no special sauce, right? Which one's more performant? Obviously, the 5070 is more performant, but not by a monster margin.
Yeah,
By a
you're paying for that.
nominal margin.
You're paying for that
right?
software 100% here.
That's right. And even normal DLSS, where they both have normal DLSS, look at how much more performant it is in the 5070. Not much more. It's just this new tech, which, oh, by the way, could be brought to the older one that they're not doing yet. That's what brings it all the way to the crazy levels, right? This is why people are pissed, because you're not actually giving them any real strength. You're just like finding new software methods and forcing people to pay for hardware they don't need in order to sell that software method. That's the anger.
Understood. And then, not that I have pushback that I think holds any water, but the pushback to that, wouldn't it be that this is just where the future's going? Or is that wrong of me to say? Because across the board, you see that you need to pay, you're paying for software. So like on the PS5 Pro, it's all about the pisser. You know, that's the promise. The pisser is going to do great things for you. On the Switch, on the Switch 2, I assume it's going to be DLSS is going to do great things for you. So that's what I'm trying to say, Kate, is it that's where we're heading now, that the software is what's going to kind of dictate kind of the excitement for people for where, next gen of every iteration is? Because it seems that way. I don't know why.
Yes,
I don't know if I'm by
but
myself here.
yes, no, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. Yes, that is true. But the reason why people are kind of, at least from what I can tell, the reason why people are kind of pushing back on the way this is being implemented now,
Because they're paywall.
It's they want the hardware to stand for by itself. All up until now, right? Your hardware has stood by itself. If you own, say, a copy of Cyberpunk, right, and you own it on one of those trash AMD cards, sorry.
Oh, damn!
Had to do that. Had to do it to Flood.
Flood, where are you, man? Where's Flood? I haven't seen him all night, man. I know he's around here.
If you own it and you play it on a card that doesn't do path tracing, guess what? There's no path tracing, right? And that's it. But when you upgrade to a card that does do path tracing, guess what? Now all of a sudden you can turn path tracing on. You don't pay more, right? Because you turn path tracing on. Obviously you pay more in the card because the card can do more. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why we're doing this. There is a value to the hardware capability that there's a value that is put on the hardware capability, right?
Yeah.
And that hardware capability then allows for more software features to be available. That's not a problem. No one has a problem with that, right? The problem people have is you then gating that software capability unnecessarily just because you can when the hardware allows for it. That's the problem, right?
Sure.
And historically, that has not been how the market has moved. And now sometimes we're seeing that happen, and people have a bit of a problem with that. Yeah.
I understand. I understand the whenever there's a shift of fundamentally how things have been done, there is, because at the end of the day, it's the companies trying to get, more and more money from us as the consumer. So 100% I understand the pushback. Just for MJ, I mean, even I was joking around with him yesterday or today, I forgot what day it was, but I was telling him, when I get the 5070, I'm going to send you screenshots of triple digit frames and all that stuff. And obviously we're just clowning around, but the truth is that I think that what has happened is that Nvidia has Nvidia's doing something very kind of sneaky, and what they're doing is that they're creating FOMO if you allow them to, to get you in the trap, where they get you used to a standard, and then when you lose that standard, you kind of want to get whatever it is that they're selling for your next go round. Now you don't have to do none of this. Everything that your previous generation cards are perfectly fine. No one has to upgrade or anything like that. But it is interesting the way that they've kind of play that manipulative game. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
they're like, hey, K Asante, you went for 2 years playing these games in this way. Are you sure you want to miss out on that? Because you ain't got this new tech, buddy. Hey, if you don't got these multi frames, hey, we'll see you in the double digits soon, my friend. And then you're like, oh man, I don't want to play in the double digits.
See,
You see what I'm
see,
saying?
and that's why they can talk all they want,
Mm-hmm.
but on the PC side of the house, their audience tends to be more informed.
Mm-hmm.
And when you tend to be more informed, a lot of that stuff just kind of blows over your head, and you go, you know what? Let's wait until we see the real benchmarks, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
I get that.
let's not get it twisted, right? They have really awesome features. If you have not had a really like top end card for a while, and this is the 50 series card is where you're buying into maybe the
Sure.
5080 series or
Makes
the
sense.
5090 series,
It makes
you're gonna
perfect sense.
totally love it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not that person, if you're me, for example, and you have a 4090, your upgrade is nominal.
Right.
It's nominal,
Right.
right? And
Right.
and you're paying top dollar for a nominal upgrade. And that's the stuff that we not push back on, but want to make people very clear on when you're trying to jump in the waters. They're going to sell you on whatever they need to sell you. It's their job, right? Like, so, they will sell you on it. But if you're like, for example, if you're from a 30 series card and you're moving to the 50 series, oh yeah, you're gonna experience a lot of benefits there. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna see it from day one, right? But for someone like me, is there an upgrade there? Absolutely there is. But I want to see what it looks like after they've included after they've included DLSS 4.0 into the 4090 as well, because they will, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once that's done, then you'll really see what the discrepancy in power is, or feature set is, or capabilities is between the 4090. Then those graphs become really like for like, right? Then you start seeing what it really looks like. Right now, it's just like feature gating to get you to buy stuff.
Yeah, I get that. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, man. But Kay, I gotta do me. So that 5070 is gonna be like Sephiroth, and MJ's gonna be Zach.
Oh yeah, you do
I'm gonna
you,
have
do
to.
you. It's fine. It's fine. See, but you see, you're gonna do that and say, see, we have 4090 performance right now, right? That's what you're gonna do.
Right now.
And
Right
then
now.
and then at some point they will release like DLSS 4.0, or somebody will hack DLSS 4.0 into a firmware update for like the 4090. And then once that is also available there, and you
We'll
see
hit
the
the reset
benchmarks,
button.
then you'll go, oh, never mind, because
Ugh,
then it won't really matter anymore, because
they
it
got
won't
me.
be that performant.
They got
It
me.
just
Damn it.
won't. There
Damn
you
it.
go.
Yeah, man. But
But
I'm
yes.
excited. I'm excited. Let's see if I can pick up a 5070. I think it'll be good for coverage so that we can talk about it.
Yeah,
We can talk about the
absolutely.
BS. What is BS that Jensen spewed? What is not BS? How
Hey
it's
man,
performing? All that good stuff.
you
So I
can
think it'll be
say
fun.
whatever you want about Jensen. The man wears a good leather jacket.
Dude, he's hilarious. It's just hilarious. And man comes out in a ray tracing jacket, dude. Come on, man. Come
That's
on.
right.
And Lisa Sue, she got. Never mind. Let's not even get into that.
Don't
So,
do it.
oh man. So, KMJ Dark says I'm gonna get the sharpshooter, Bret Hart style. I'm gonna be tapping with the 5070. We'll see what happens. I am keeping my 4080 Super just so that you guys know that is gonna be still. I'm not upgrading from that, but I do want to upgrade the 4070 in the living room. Okay, I think that'll be a fun experiment. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a fun experiment. Plus, I get to help out fellow my tag team partner Sycamore because he's looking for a eGPU. So everything works out. Okay. Okay, that's it for tonight, man. We're done. Went over a
You
few
know,
things, brother.
before we go, I have to ask. I
Sure.
have one thing that I want to bring up to the congregation. I need help. I need help. Okay.
Okay. You need my help
And maybe
or the chat's help?
yeah, I need your help. I need Game Tech Talk's help. I need
Okay.
Mr. MJ Dark's help because I'm in this. You know when you're a writer, sometimes you get writer's block.
Yep.
When you're a tech enthusiast, when you're a handheld lover, sometimes you get handheld block. I feel.
Okay.
Okay. And what do I mean by that? I'm in a place now where I'm like between handhelds, right? I still love my A1, my 1X Player Mini. I actually bought a new set of controllers for it, just to have it a spare just in case, right? I love my handheld, but I'm looking for something fun and interesting, right? I was thinking, as I've spoken to you about it, I was thinking of heading towards the Android side of the house and getting some Android handhelds, but the Android handhelds that I want are way too expensive for what you get, right? And don't get me wrong, what you get is really awesome, right? And then let me spell it out. So you know that I've been looking on for the OIN Odin portal, right? I've been really looking at the OIN portal, thinking, maybe I want to get this thing. What is this thing? This thing is basically the big brother, if you will, to the Retroid Pocket 5, right? Which you guys have, right? You have a Retroid Pocket 5, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, I do. And I have the AYN Odin port. What is it? The Pro 2? Yeah, I
You
have
have the Pro
2.
2. You have the older body style of it,
Yep,
right?
yep, the first one. Yep.
So let me put some visuals to this thing, so gentlemen, y'all can understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you can help me here, okay?
This
So
little thing is amazing,
5.
by the way. This thing is amazing.
Yes, this is the Retroid Pocket 5. This is how I would buy it. It is fantastic looking.
That's how I have it.
It is awesome. It is a small little mini, put it in your pocket, whip it out whenever you need it. Like awesome little retro, big pause. Retro gaming station, 8 gigs of RAM, out the door, what is it, $250 after tax and shipping and all of that, something like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. But my only issue with it, the reason why I cannot bring myself to get it is because it's running the, what is it, Snapdragon 8, what is it again?
It's the right there, the
It
GPU.
doesn't show.
Hold on.
Showing me. It's not showing it.
Let's see.
The GPU is the Adreno 650.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. But needless to say, the processor, the CPU, SoC, the 850, the 855.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Game Tech Talk. Needless to say, the SoC in this thing is weaker than, say, the one on my phone, which is like the Galaxy S24 Ultra.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
Right. So stuff like WinLater, which is basically emulating Windows games, things like that, you can't do on something like this. Stuff like 3D enabled Switch games, you can't play on stuff like this. Maybe 2D stuff will be okay for something like this.
You gotta tweak into
the price to performance. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the price to performance is really there, right?
Yes, it is.
What I like is the fact that and what I really love is the fact that there's this in the market, which is the bigger brother of not the same company, obviously, but they made a big version of that. This is a 7-inch screen, OLED device. It's also not the Snapdragon out there, but far more performant than the Retroid Pocket 5, right?
Yeah.
And it has the same black, all cool OLED, all no bezel look that I really like, right? All that's there. Only problem is, and let's go to the website to really drive this point home. The only problem that I have here is this thing is not cheap for the price that you're paying. So it starts at $329, right? Which for the base price sounds good, which is okay. And maybe this is where I need you and Game Tech Talk to set me straight, okay? The base price, for the base price, you're getting 8 gigs of RAM.
That's right.
And 128 gigs of storage.
Which
the storage I don't care about.
You can put a micro SD. It's not a problem.
That's right. The storage I don't care about. But for my use case, 8 gigs of RAM is a no-go.
Mm-hmm.
right? I want to use WinLater. Now, if you know WinLater basically uses a bunch of storage and a bunch of RAM to basically emulate Windows in on a Android device, and then you can play games like Fallout and stuff like that on your Android device, even though they're inside a Windows device. It's a containerized
Right.
situation. A very cool, interesting new way of playing games
I
on Android. I want to
I
do
think
that.
okay.
And
And
for that,
and
you
knowing
need at least 12, if not 16 gigs of RAM.
yeah,
But here's
I,
the
I
deal.
I have the 12
Check
gig
it out.
version of the Odin Pro of the
The
Odin 2.
12 gig, 499, 399,
399.
right? Here
Yeah.
it is, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now, the 16 gig, damn it,
Yeah, it's
I don't think
overkill.
I can do that, man. I don't
It's
know, man.
overkill.
So I
Okay.
bring
Then
myself to the congregation. What do you guys think? I cannot bring myself, even though I want one so bad, I
yeah.
cannot bring myself to buy a Retroid Pocket 5,
Okay.
but I also cannot bring myself to buy an Odin 2 Portal that is $500. What do you think?
Okay. So this is what I think. Scroll up so that you can see the black model that you would be interested in, because I'm gonna tell you how I think you need to take a look at this in order to justify the price and this purchase if you want to do it. Okay. I purchased the Odin 2 back when it came out and the Retroid Pocket 5 100% primarily for retro emulation. Okay, I wasn't looking to play Switch games. I wasn't looking to put my Switch collection on the go on this device or anything like that. Is it an extra that I can do so on the Odin 2? Sure, and I do have a handful of backups on that. Okay, from my library, from my personal library. It's nice. It's a nice thing to have. However, when you look at where emulation is on Android and the strides that it's made. Really, the where the cap is, okay, is GameCube PS2. They're starting to get their hands dirty with Wii U emulation. It's starting to make progress, and it's starting to make progress with RPCS 3. There's a lot of playable games, the lower end games, the ones that are not demanding. So imagine the 2D fighting games of the world, some 3D fighting games, all the PS3 downloadable games, stuff like that that people have been able to play. I personally feel though that for your want of wanting to put win later and all that good stuff, I just don't think that the performance is there for you to have a great experience. And outside of you experimenting with that, I don't think you're going to get any value there. You already have your Windows handheld. You don't have an Android device besides your phone. And we've talked about this before. We want to keep our phone kind of for just phone use, not really turning
Yeah.
into gaming devices. You're like me there. I hate, thinking that my phone is a gaming thing. I just want my phone to be my phone. So
Yeah.
that's where
Even though
these,
my phone has really good capabilities for a phone, for a gaming
yeah,
device,
yeah.
I just still don't use it for that purpose.
I
Yeah.
think that in order to kind of, you know, like get you kind of satiated. Is that the word? Did I say that right? To
Yeah,
situated.
satiated.
Sorry. Yeah, satiated. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My Cuban American's coming out. So, ice might come and get me, okay? So if I sign off, you know what happened. I
Floodzilla
think
joining us.
there's Flood. Where have you been? We have literally been bad mouthing AMD the whole night, and now's when you're not playing. So, in order for you to get your fill, I do
Yeah.
think that you should look at an Android device because you're the tech in you wants to be versed in that world, right? I just think that 499 is definitely a no go. 399 is definitely a no go.
Right? Even 399
it,
sucks,
I
man.
think that 329, what you're the extra that you're paying here, okay, that you are paying here between the Retroid Pocket and and the other device at 329,
So base
the
to
Odin
base,
2,
329 to
right?
219. What
What
do you
you're
think?
gonna be the reason why I knowing you I think you should spend the extra 100 or 100 and something and change is because number one, this is a very small device. This is a
Yes,
5.5-inch
I'm a big
device.
man hands device. I like bigger
You're
screens. You know.
you're not. This is you're gonna get your hands cramped up. I like it because I'm playing PSP games on it. I'm playing Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
64 games on it. The OLED screen is amazing. So for that, perfect. This device, I have a feeling, will become your daily driver because for emulation, it's a powerhouse up to a certain extent. I also think you're going to get some use out of it with Switch titles. You can look at the compatibility list for Switch and see if you have any backups that you can get there. And I personally think that when you start incorporating things like GeForce Now, streaming your Xbox, streaming your PlayStation, streaming your PC on this thing, that's really where you're gonna see that this thing shines. And you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm glad I bought this device, and this thing has become one of my little favorite devices because you have literally a whole, you have generations in your hand. Now you could do that with your Steam Deck. You know, you can repurpose your Steam Deck that you have, the LCD one for that. You have the OLED one. So yeah, is this necessary for you? No. But again, it gets you into a different ecosystem, which is the Android ecosystem that they have. Dude, they've gone, they've their strides, they've made strides in emulation for Android, and I enjoy it. I love these devices. Like, I just love setting them up. I love the way that you can put EmuDeck on them. Like, I just
Yeah.
love the way that the screen pops. It just, the ergonomics on it. It's a smaller device, so you can throw it in a bag and just take it with you. You know,
Well, see, this wouldn't be a smaller device. This is a 7-inch screen, so
yeah,
this is basically a Steam Deck.
yeah. But I mean, but knowing you, it's what you want because you want that bigger device. You're gonna get cramped up, so you need to pay for the premium for the ergonomics.
Yeah, no, you're true. You are absolutely right. Like, I love the idea of this, but the tiny screen bothers me.
It's a tiny device, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have it right here.
Right?
I'm looking at it right in front of me. Let me take it out of my drawer here. Look, it's perfect. It's perfect for me, right? But think of this as, okay. You remember the iPhone? The which one was it? The one of the gens
The, yeah,
that it was
the
like
last time
smaller.
when the phone was a normal size. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
that's exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
But like, look, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Classic on this thing, and man,
Mhm.
it pops. It pops with the colors and everything. Playing retro games on an OLED like this, or like you
You
would be
guys
doing
got
with
me
Portal,
convinced, man. You
dude.
got me convinced.
I'm telling you, when
Yeah.
you go back and you play games like NBA Street Volume 2 on the OLED, or you're playing NFL Street, you know, all you know, NFL 2K, 2K,
You
dude,
know
all
what?
these old games, bro. They just pop. They look like
Honestly,
brand new games.
I think I'll get the Pro. Like, the Max is too much, ridiculous. But the Pro, I think I could,
The
like,
Pro gives you
12
breathing
gigs for
room.
the Pro. It
The
gives you
Pro
breathing
gives you
room. I can
breathing
do,
room.
yeah. I
It
think
gives you
I think
breathing
I'll
room.
do the Pro, and it's not even because of the storage, because I said I could just get an SD card, but it's because of that damn RAM. I
I
wish
don't think
RAM, you
I
know.
don't think that you're gonna regret it. To be honest with you, it's because again, you can turn this into like your everything device, and that's why it's so cool. It's literally your everything device. And
Yeah.
Flood, I agree. Kay, is there any certain oinking that you want to do for us out here? Okay, sir, because this is
Y'all
definitely
need
not
to
something
stop
that you need.
it.
Okay, this is just something that
Y'all
you're
need to
just
stop
trying to
it.
scratch your tech curiosity itch. Okay, sir.
Uh, you know what this is? This is actually the money that was received after selling the GPD
Okay.
Win Max 2.
I,
So it's sitting there,
I
and
don't
I'm
want to
just
hear
like,
anything about my
if I don't use
5070
it,
purchase, sir. I don't want to hear anything.
yeah.
Let's keep game
Anyway,
tech talk. If you ever get the Odin 2 Portal K, the good news is you didn't get screwed from getting the other two Odin before it, but the Portal is a device fully achieved. I agree with that. I'm a
mm,
little jealous of that this one came out, but I still think that, you know, my original Odin 2, it has the same chip. I'm happy with it. The screen is, it's not an OLED screen, but it's pretty good, man. And the ergonomics on
yeah,
that one
that
are
screen
excellent
looks
too.
amazing. The screen looks amazing on that thing, and that is where I'm like, I need to do this, man. I really want to do. I want. It's like,
You have a
it's.
Steam Deck
I
that
do.
you can put EmuDeck on it, an OLED. You're gonna get nice visuals on there. Oh man, it's up to you, man. If you just want to jump in the Android waters, it's up to you, man. How much,
See,
how
you
much your
see, you
curiosity.
see, you see, they're holding me back, ladies and gentlemen. They're holding me back. Anyway,
It's
that's
not
this is
that,
what
man.
this
I'm
is
trying
why this is
to
why
trying to
I'm
be real with you.
I am, and you're right. And this is why I am where I
That's the
am.
one that I
This is
have.
what you have, right?
I
You
have
have
it.
this
Yeah, I
one.
have the
Okay,
the white
yeah,
version of that. Dude,
yeah.
I love that device. It is. It feels so good to play games on this device. It's so good. It's so comfortable. It's, again, you can carry that thing everywhere. Everywhere you go, you can
Yeah.
just throw this thing in your pocket.
See, and there's game tech talk trying to continue to throw me off the ledge. He said the Steam Deck OLED is not 1080p, and it's also not 120 hertz, and he is
Yep.
right.
Yep.
He is right. Damn it.
You have like I know that you still have the Logitech
I have the
G
G
Cloud,
Cloud. Yeah.
right? Okay. Okay. So the G Cloud, the ergonomics on that thing were excellent, right?
Yes, they are. Absolutely, they
So
are. Yeah.
think of, dude, imagine if you had an OLED screen on that thing. It's probably
Yep.
what it's probably what you're gonna get with this.
And this is why I want. This is why I want it. This is why I
You're
want
probably
it. So anyway.
and let me tell you one more way I justified these Android devices for myself. I know I heard this is from Everborn. This does not come from my mouth. I heard Everborn say this. Okay, he's our GCP colleague. I heard that you're mobile racist, sir. Is that true or not? Sir, did he not? Are
That's
you, sir? Did you
hilarious.
not admit that, sir, the other day?
What the hell? What the hell
Eh,
is that supposed to mean?
Sir, I don't know. You said that you're mobile racist, that you do not like playing mobile games, sir. For some reason, you have something against mobile games. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to tell you that there's a couple of
Mobile
gems out
racist.
there. Okay, there's
That's great.
like I don't know how you're not getting down with Diablo Immortal. I don't know how you're not getting down with a bunch of
Well,
other
okay,
big
okay.
hitters on the mobile
Diablo
space.
Immortal, I'm not getting down with because it's basically a gotcha game that's out there to
It
screw
is,
you.
but it
Uh,
is. But I will tell you this:
I
you
will
can
say,
play. You can play.
Destiny Rising. Shout out to Game Tech Talk. Destiny Rising is pretty awesome. I was
I'm
playing that on
telling
my
you.
phone.
I'm telling you. And then you also have. Not Candy Crush. Come on, Flood. What are we doing here? You have. God, what's the name of that game? Call of Duty Mobile,
You
which
know what? You know
plays
what we'll do?
excellent.
You know what we'll do? I will be getting one of these devices because oink oink, I said it. There we
There it
go.
is. There it
And
is.
then when I come back on this show, you guys can give me all your recommendations for great mobile gems that I
Dude,
should
I
be
think you're
playing.
gonna love it, dude. I really do. I think between the screen, the ergonomics, and just once you set this up and you tailor it to what you want, it's over, dude. You're gonna come back and you're gonna say, "Hey, John, you know what, bro? This thing is becoming my daily driver, bro."
Gentle Stone is trying to get me to like go out of pocket. He says, "Get the max."
Oh, dude, no, no,
Home,
no, dude, don't get the
homie,
max. Don't get the max.
homie, leave me a couple super chats and I'll think about it.
Hey, Gentle Stone, while you're at it, why don't you send a couple more and I'll get myself one too? Well, why don't we do it like that, okay? We
Because
gotta
bro, that thing is steep in its execution, sir.
look at Flood, level 3, bro. Flood, you're an expert, bro. You only started playing
Man.
Candy Crush because Microsoft bought it. Come on, Flood, get out of here with that, man. Flood, you okay, bro? You good, bro?
Shout
We've
out to
been
the
telling that.
Xbox expansion
We've
pass.
been that, we've been telling that to each other. What's up, Luke? You good, bro? You good, Luke? Bro, okay. After you make this purchase, I'm just gonna ask you, okay, you good, bro? You good? You're
What
gonna
do
be,
you
I'm
mean? What
good.
do you mean? What's that supposed to be?
I don't know, bro. I've been bothering the guys in the Discord all week with this thing.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. But yes,
Okay, we're
you are
done.
right. I do want an Android device, so most likely I will be getting the Odin 2
Thank
portal. We'll see.
God. Yeah, okay, we need to get you past your mobile racism that Evermore was talking about.
You need to stop that crap, man. Don't
Yeah,
be putting such
dude, it wasn't me.
vile language
It
into the
wasn't
world. I
me. It
have nothing
was
to do with that.
Everborn. He said that you have something against, that you have something against mobile games. Dude,
Sure.
look, we're ladies and gentlemen, I gotta stop the show right now. There's a legend
Mm.
right now in the chat, Kay.
Oh yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Boom
Double barrel
himself.
gaming. Absolutely.
Okay, you know
What's
that
going on,
without him,
Boom?
Without him, we ain't on this show right now.
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely, I do. Yep.
Without Boom,
Yep.
we ain't on this show. So yeah, man. Um, it is what it is, Kate. We're done for the week. We'll be back in a few weeks. Talk about some good stuff. Let's see what happens in next week. If guys join us on Discord so that we can have our daily chats that we have. Today we spent the whole day crying about Xbox again. No, I'm just playing. we spent the whole day. We spent the whole day talking about
Uh-huh.
the potential of backwards compatibility, what it means for Xbox, how they can achieve it. Are we going to have a future where um, that their solution is semi compatibility? Is it full compatibility or is it cloud? We were having kind of a day-long discussion around that. Also touched up on some politics stuff. Always lots of fun. Boom, it's true, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Boom. Without you giving us a chance, man, we wouldn't be here on the show. Those are facts. Those are facts. Um.
I agree.
So, all right, Kay, let's hit that button, man. Let's get out of here and everybody get back to playing some great games, man.
All right,
Peace.
gents. Well, it's been great. Have a good one. Until next week. Peace.